What's good? What's good? I don't want to say a lot, but I'll say a significant amount of time in this Safeway parking lot. It's a really good transition place for me to just hang out, like in between the time for where I go to park at night and put all my stuff up and go stealth. And then it also just before work, like today is only a half day, unfortunately. So I'm only working the afternoon, evening, which sucks, but it is what it is. I'm happy just to have some work other than delivery work. I'm not good enough yet at blackjack to like go on a road trip to try and make money. I still have some ways to go, but it is promising. It is viable. I do believe in myself. It's going to be a part of my future. I know that. But in this weird place where I'm like not there yet at really any of my vocations, it sucks having this downtime because I don't have the resources to go like enjoy downtime. Or rather, this is how I enjoy my downtime. I just smoke joints and make YouTube videos. I wish I could work 50 hours a week, getting some good overtime, but most places still drug test. Like if I wanted to go find like a warehouse to work in, they still drug test. It blows my mind, but whatever. Let's move on. Am I crazy? I want to tell you this story, and I want you to tell me if I'm crazy or not. I want a family so bad. I have visions. I have dreams. I can see them. Like I can see my son and I can see my daughter, and I've already got various conversations in my head planned to have with them when the time is right. So like one with my son, I already know we're going to be sitting around a fire. We're going to be talking. He's going to be about 11 or 12. And I'm calling this conversation, I'm getting emotional thinking about it already. This conversation is going to be called The Blessing of the Burden, where I want to explain to him how being a man comes with a lot of perks, but a lot of responsibilities. As the great Uncle Ben from Spider-Man said, with great power comes great responsibility. And I believe that is core and central to the masculine message we should be sending young boys as they're developing into men. The blessing of the burden. Because it is awesome. Like when I'm in shape and my arms are good, like it's an awesome feeling. But it also, when used improperly, can be bad. It can be scary. It can be toxically masculine. Andrew Tate, for example, perfect example of toxic masculinity. Oh my gosh. And then for my daughter, I've already got a few conversations planned. I want to do a whole separate video on how I want to talk about like sex and her private parts. I've got this whole idea building around, I want to have in my house an office or a study, right? Like dad's office, dad's study, where, okay, I won't get into it, but I've got in connecting my study and the privacy and the respect that we show it, with the door open, the door closed, etc. This is very similar to a lady in sex, but I won't. Anyways, the conversation I want to actually unpack today is a little different, but there's this older gentleman in my life that has been awesome in helping me through these difficult times. He's provided, financial support in the form of, some work. So it's not like just here's money, but it's like, okay, yeah, I'll throw you some work and I'll help you. And also just like fraternity. He's older, but he's a lot like, he might be somewhat on the spectrum. I think him and I share a lot, but he's much older, way before they even comprehended the spectrum beyond people who are developmentally disabled. And I have this whole questions and concerns around the spectrum, because there are people who are clearly developmentally disabled, and then there are people like me who are just like weird. I'm not weird, but just I know I'm not neurotypical. Anyways, this older gentleman, he's had some health issues and he's lived a pretty wild life, and someday he's gonna pass. And so I had this little vision. I was driving, and when I had the vision, in the vision, I'm just sitting in my study, and I get the phone call that says he has passed away. I'm getting emotional thinking about it, but because I'm gonna be just devastated when he passes away. Most people, I would say, I'm indifferent to. Like, I feel connection to them on a human level, but on like a deep level, I'm indifferent to most people. But like, people I love and cherish, there's a deep place in my heart, my soul, for them. And so when I know when he passes, it's going to hit me really hard. And so in this vision, I get the phone call, and I just drop to the floor, and I sit cross-legged, and I just start crying. I'm by myself at this moment, but then my daughter comes into the study, and she asks, she's about 4 or 5 in my little daydream. She asks, Daddy, what's wrong? And I tell her, a man that I tremendously admired and truly loved has passed away. She may or may not at this point know what passing away means, but she's going to learn if she doesn't. And she just, hugs me and says, I'm sorry, Daddy. And she starts crying too, because that's what a daughter would do. Like, women are fucking awesome. So like, men, yes, we have the blessing of the burden, but like, women also have their own blessings and their own burdens. And she's going to hug me, and we're both going to be crying. And then my wife and our son are going to walk in together. I've seen this really clearly. It's wild. They're going to walk in, and they're going to walk in together, and they're going to be like, confused. What's going on? What's wrong? And then my daughter's actually going to turn around and say to them, my wife and our son, someone Daddy truly admired and deeply loved passed away. She's gonna like speak for me in that sense, and at a young age she's going to embed the depth of my feelings for this man and convey it properly. Truly loved, truly admired, deeply loved, deeply admired. She's gonna be really emotionally intelligent like that, and very, very loving. Oh man, I'm so excited. But and then my wife and my son come over, and we all just have this family hug cry circle for like 5 minutes. I'm getting emotional, I'm sorry, but because that's beautiful to me, and that's family. And men should share and show emotions, but in the right ways at the right times. This is the perfect time for a man to show his emotions, when an older man that helped him grow and develop into the man he has become passes, because that's a huge loss. And I even saw, at the funeral, this man's wife, I'm not saying their names, but in this vision, we hadn't seen each other for a while, and she hadn't met my family. But I'm gonna go up to her, and I'm gonna thank her and tell her that her husband is what enabled me to get to this point where I can start this family. And I'm gonna introduce them, and my daughter, she's gonna speak up to the wife and say, I'm sorry for your loss, but your husband was a man that my father deeply loved and truly admired. She's gonna say that to his widow, and his widow is gonna kind of laugh and cry, and she's gonna understand, because she's seen my journey too. Her and I have our own fun little relationship. We have great conversations. She's a super progressive, person in Seattle, but because she's not super brainwashed, and she is a loving, caring, compassionate person, she listens to me, and we have fantastic conversations. So not only do I have an awesome relationship with this man, but I also have an awesome relationship with his wife, and I want my children to meet her. And I know it's super cheesy to think about all of this stuff, but to me, that's man shit right there. Just loving your family and your community so much. That's what we're supposed to be doing. Oh man, but the Matrix has us so backwards. But I'll kind of wrap up and end the video there. Am I crazy? Am I crazy for having these visions? Probably. But you gotta try. I'm trying. I'm not going down without a fight. Anyways, much love, y'all.